Hi, my name's Maureen Vidal and I'm an English teacher at Sequila Campo. Today we're going to make my perfect brownies. Have you washed your hands? Okay, so first I'm going to tell you about the ingredients. You're going to need some sugar and flour. You're going to need some baking powder and salt. You're going to need cocoa powder, nuts. That's optional. If there's anybody allergic, you don't need to put any nuts in. We're going to need 2 eggs that I've already have them cracked in here, and half a cup of butter. I didn't melt the butter. I just put it in 30 seconds in the microwave. So, and you're going to need 2 bowls. 1 bowl for the dry ingredients and another bowl to mix everything else. So to start off with the brownies, we're going to put sugar in the bowl with the half a cup of butter. I didn't say how much sugar I put in. There is 1 cup of sugar. And I'm going to start mixing. Can you see it from there? Okay, so we're going to mix this nice and thoroughly. And once this is all mixed, okay, I'm going to put the eggs in. Okey-doke. This you could actually beat in a handstand mixer or with beaters, but brownies are best if you do this by hand. So even though it's, a little tiresome, but it is completely worth it. So your batter should look something like this. Okay? So once you have the eggs in, we're going to add vanilla. So I bring my vanilla from the States. You can find vanilla here in Spain, fortunately. It's vanilla extract, and that's something that you can find in supermarkets or in baking stores, online. That's easy. And I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And a little bit more because vanilla is just so delicious. Why wouldn't we? Okie doke. And let's mix again. I don't know if you can smell it from there, but it smells delicious. Okay, so now I have my wet ingredients ready. I'm going to go with my dry ingredients. I'm going to mix flour. I have 3/4 of a cup here. I'm going to add my cocoa powder, which I have half a cup of. Cocoa powder, I've got it here, the one that I use. This is, you can find them in several brands, but it has to be 100% pure cocoa powder, no sugar in it. I'm going to add salt, 1/4 of a teaspoon. Okie doke. And another 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder. Okie doke. I'm going to mix this carefully because if not, you make a terrible mess. Okay, so once we have this already mixed, we're going to go to our bigger bowl, and you're just going to put your dry ingredients in here, nice and carefully, so it doesn't go all over the kitchen. Okie doke. And we mix again. While you're mixing, make sure that you're scraping the sides so nothing gets stuck and you manage to get a hold of all of the batter. And you need to be careful because, as you can see, it just wants to get out. I don't know if you can see it from there. I'm mixing my batter. And it's going to be a big, thick batter. Don't expect anything liquidy. If it's liquid, it's not good brownie batter. And this is what your brownie batter should look like. Okay? Now, adding nuts is completely optional. If you have anybody allergic to nuts in your family, you're obviously not going to use nuts. But if you do, so much better. And let's stir in those nuts in our batter. Okay, so my batter is ready. Okie doke. So now we're going to put our batter in our prepared pan. You could just use butter and a little bit of flour, or butter and a little bit of cocoa, because if you use flour, the outside will be all white, and that's not nice, so you can use cocoa. However, if you use paper, it's so much cleaner, because then when you take them out of the oven, the only thing you need to do is just take them out of the paper, boom, boom, and voila. Okay, so now let's put our batter in the center of our pan. If you're wondering how big my pan is, I think this is an 8 by 8 inch or 9 by 9. I can't remember right now in inches, but I did measure it just before we started, and it's in centimeters, it's 20 by 20. And this is just one batch. That's the recipe I'm going to be giving you. The recipe goes for one batch only. Okay. I don't think I need this. And we're going to spread, or try to spread, not evenly, at least just try to make the corners. Yeah, meet the corners here, and that's it, because it's going to spread in the oven anyways, okay? So now that I have my batter all prepared, okie doke, this is ready to go into the oven. So it's going to go into the oven for 17 minutes, and the oven is right now 160, 170 degrees high. Okay, so let me put 17 minutes on my phone, and the only thing we need to do now is wait for them to come out. Okay, because some of you are wondering about the measurements. When I'm talking about teaspoons, I'm talking about these little spoons that we have over here. This is something that you can find easily in IKEA. I've seen them in a store called Tiger as well. And you have 1/4 and the other measurements, okay? I'm also talking about cups, 3/4 of a cup. That's also something that you can find here. Or if you cannot find these measurements, you can always find this glass bowl, Pyrex. This is international. You can find this anywhere. And one of the sides has the baking measurements that you can use for this recipe or any other American recipe. Now, this is the pan I've been using for the brownies. This is a small pan. This is just a one batch pan. However, I always do a double batch. And when I do a double batch, I do it in these molds over here. And this is a mold that I buy at my regular supermarket. So the only thing that you would have to do is double the batch, double each ingredient, so it would all fit in here. In order to bake it, well, you're practically going to bake it for the same amount of time, 18, 19 minutes, and after that, you'll know if they're ready. In order to know if your brownies are ready or not, you need to put your finger at the top after the minutes have passed. If it springs back, then you know it's ready, okay? But you can always do the toothpick trick to see if it comes out done. Brownies are always best underdone or undercooked, okay? So don't, just because you think that, oh, but the center is a little bit too raw, take it out anyways, because it's always going to continue cooking once you have it outside of the oven, okay? So it's better to have them underdone than overdone, believe me. Okay, so I've taken the brownies out of the oven. As you can see, they spring back, so they're pretty done. I hope that you tried this recipe at home. I hope that the instructions were easy to follow, and I would love to see the pictures of the brownies you make. So please, you can send them to my email. You can find that on the school website, or you can just post them on the school Instagram account, and I would love to see what you've done. Okay, so I'll show you the recipe at the end of the video. Let me take them out so you can see. Delicious. Bye guys, stay home, stay safe.